Scenario 2S, Shinkansenmonogatari. Rushing to the station, you purchase a ticket for the next Shinkansen as quickly as you could. Finding a seat in the unreserved car, you hastily sit down, the exhaustion from the first stop of your investigation catching up to you. Being the fastest train of the 3 different bullet trains, the Nozomi Shinkansen should take about 2 hours to reach your next stop. As the train signals to leave, you breathe an uneasy sigh. As soon as you get in your seat, your eyelids begin to feel heavy, and you drift off into sleep. You are then startled awake from the train jostling along the tracks. As your eyes struggle to focus, you see nothing but red colors flooding your vision. Looking out the window, a blood-red sun sinks across the horizon. The entire landscape looks as though it had been drenched in blood. The train still seems to be moving, though, trudging along at a high speed. As you glance around, the car is empty. All the other passengers around you seem to have disappeared. Then the same jostling reiterates itself. You're now certain that that noise was coming from the outside, akin to something scraping against metal. You look out the window. This time you can make out the shape of a bird, the size of a human, flying among the crimson landscape. Then you see another and another, in total 5 of them. Suddenly, one of the bird-like creatures swoops down onto the train and strikes against the side of the car with its oversized talons, knocking you off balance. You have a dreadful hunch that they're trying to destroy the train. Hey everybody, it's Pax. This is the next scenario for Kaimonogatari. I've already done the setup below, but notably we get a cultist token added to the chaos bag. We find a new delegate, which is a pretty nasty one. It's a massive hunter with 2 victory, but a lot of health there. There's a bit of a randomized setup there where we choose a couple of locations. We randomly choose some locations. Whoops, the layout of the map here. It's 2 non-reserved trains, 2 reserved trains, and then there's the green car in the center. These lesser tengus start at these 2 locations, which also place 1 per investigated clues on those locations. So that's the only part I haven't done yet. I'm not going to be doing a deck building for this one because the deck building was actually just some really easy choices, and I'll just scoot over to my deck building spot and do them really quick. I'm swapping 2 enchanted blades for the upgraded enchanted blades, and I'm dropping one of my dodges for an I've had worse. So that's where Shinobu ended up, and I'll just delete those. And then over here for Hitagi, she's getting a second copy of Ugi Oshino. I really like this. The effect on her seems really good for her, so I chose that. And last, she is picking up this Quixotic permanent. It makes it so that she can't mulligan, and when she would draw her opening hand, she instead draws 13 cards, then chooses and discards 8 non-weakness cards from her hand. So she gets a really cool, killer opening hand thing. And she might be able to get her winging it into the discard. So that's really neat. And I'm probably going to consider for her maybe picking up impromptu barriers, like picking up a card that I can exile and put an impromptu barrier back in the deck, because having extra targets of things that I can do in the discard will be really nice. Now, just down here to fix my chaos bag, just to be certain, I am at 2 skulls, 2 cultist, 1 elder thing. And we'll do a quick read of this here. Minus X is the maximum number of clues at your location, which is currently 0. So we'll just toss them right there. The cultist is minus 3. If you fail and there's a Tengu enemy at your location, take 1 damage or 1 horror, so that's the minus 3s. And the elder thing is a minus 2, so we'll put that right there. Okay, so these guys that started in play, it's a lesser Tengu. 3/6/3, aloof retaliate. When the enemy's phase ends, move him to the location with the least clues. Place a clue at its location. Victory 1. 1 on 1. And there's 2 of them. Let's just do our opening hands really quick before we read the agenda and the act. Let's get rid of the cell phone. I don't think I need a weapon pretty much right away. Stand together can be really helpful, especially where she can get such a huge hand. So I'll hold on to that. Oof, no enemy, no weapon. That's not good. But Tetsuo should help. Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually just gonna drop that below and type in 13 here to do this one. Whew, look at that opening hand. Okay. Well, she definitely wants the Mariner's Compass. We'll keep a Crack the Case. She definitely needs a Fire Axe. We'll keep it resourceful to get back whatever we need the most, and maybe we'll keep a Mind over Matter as well. Yeah. Not great. Not great. I think that's okay. I am dropping a ton of my money in the deck. But I think we kind of have to deal with that. So we'll choose that as our opening hand. Whoops. And then we'll draw those 5 back up for Shinobu. And then we'll read these. Agenda 1C. First stop, Nagoya. The beasts constantly scrape their claws over the metallic outer wall. You must stop them. Each location is connected to each other location adjacent to it. Do not remove Doom from player cards when the agenda advances. Beware, when the agenda advances, Doom on player cards can be detrimental. Forced, when the investigation phase ends, if there are 6 or more clues on one location, resolution 1. So presumably, if you haven't guessed, these guys are placing clues down. That kind of represents the train getting destroyed. Act 1A, Special Express. You're not sure if this train can hold against the attacks of the wretched creatures, but you're not sticking around to find out. And as a fast triggered ability, free triggered ability, investigators can spend 2 clues as a group, 2 investigator clues as a group, so 4 clues to deal 1 per investigator damage, so 2 damage to any Tengu enemy in play. Group limit once per round per enemy. And the objective is to survive until you reach the final stop, removing clues as fast as you can. You will be instructed when to advance. All right. And I believe we start at our choice of the 2... Where's it tell us that? May choose to begin on either copy of the non-reserved train car. So we're here on this non-reserved train car. The non-reserved train car is connected to each other copy of non-reserved train car. So this is actually connected like this as well, by the looks of it. We'll have to keep that in mind. And I'll just... For my own delight, we'll do that. So we're here at the non-reverse train card, and it says, while you have no resources in your resource pool, this gets -2 shroud, and spend 3 resources to discover a clue at this location. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a setup turn, because at the end of the enemy phase, these guys, one of them is going to be able to move here or drop a clue for us. So we're just going to do a setup turn. And as such... Shinobu is going to do the following. She's going to 1, 2, 3 play Tetsuo, and then play a stand together, 2 resources and 2 resources, and then draw a card. Ooh, Karen. That's nice. She'll have some really good stats after that happens. Okay, so that's Shinobu. And over here on Hitagi, she is actually going to play both of these. 1, 2, 3, and then 1. She's going to draw a card with her ability. Probably should have drawn first. Ooh, nice. 2 damage. That's really going to be useful against these guys, because it's something that I can do to do 2 damage to them without even having to move. And we'll draw again. Ooh, the Master of Disguise. Very good. Very good. One thing I've been noticing is that I think I have 1 copy of this, and I really think 2 would be a lot better. Because I could have a lot less economy in the deck if I had to. But it is nice to be able to boost back up for the Mariner's Compass and the Fire Axe. So that's going to be that turn. Okay, so that's the investigation phase. The enemy phase is going to happen. These guys don't do anything inherently, and then when the enemy phase ends, we're going to move the Lesser Tengu to the location with the least clues. So this one's going to move here and drop a clue. And this one is going to move here and drop a clue. And then that's the end of that. And then we do upkeep. Upkeep, there we go. An enchanted blade. Ooh, we're feeling good now, I think. Yeah, feeling good now. Place 1 Doom on the agenda. I never shuffled this, so that's the shuffled encounter deck. And we'll start drawing. Let's see what we get. Tempus Edax Rerum. Attach Tempus Edax Rerum to the current agenda. When the agenda advances, each investigator takes 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror. Ooh, yuck. Attached agenda gains test 3 or 3, willpower or intellect, to rewrite your fate. If you succeed, discard Tempest Edicts. Rerum. Dark Territory. Attached to the current agenda, limit 1 per agenda. When the agenda advances, place 1 clue on each location in play. Oh, that one's a lot more. I think I can deal with 1 damage on each of them right now, because she's going to have a ridiculous amount of health once both of them come into play. But a clue on each location sounds pretty bad. And test 4 or 4. If you succeed, discard Dark Treachery. Yuck. Well, we've got a Mind Over Matter. She can engage him and hit him, pretty much guaranteed to hit him twice with the Fire Axe for 4 damage, and then she can discard the Imposter Oddity. Yeah, so I think that Hitagi is just going to go ahead and try and kill this guy. That seems correct. So let's 1 and 1. Discard the Imposter Oddity, and we will deal 2 damage to an enemy at your location. So we'll go ahead and do that. 1, 2. We'll engage him, putting him right on us like that. I will. Do I even need to use the Mind Over Matter yet? I think I can kind of get away with not, right? Let's see. What have I got in here that I could get back with a Resourceful? I could take the Imposter Oddity back. That'd be really nice. I bet a Look What I Found wouldn't be bad either. But, I wonder if I can get away. No, I probably should use the Mind Over Matter and just make my first hit a lot more likely. Yeah, so we'll pay the Mind Over Matter to add our intellect to our fight. We'll do an attack at 6, 8, 10 against 3. -1 for 2 damage. And then again, 6 against 3. And now let me just double check what these odds are. I think these have technically moved up to here. Is that what it is? Clues at your location? So there's 1 clue at the location, so we do that? Yeah. Nice. Sweet. So he's already toast. We already got 1 of them. So that he heads up into the victory display. And this should... that's a pretty good start, I think. I'm pretty happy with how this is going already. So that is Hitagi. Over here with Shinobu, I am going to play the Stand Together for 1, 2, 1, 2. Play Karen Araragi. And when I play Karen, when she enters play, the investigator in control of Tsukihi may search their deck hand and discard pile for her and put her into play, and they take up a single ally slot. So let's just search for Tsukihi. And I'll just put her right here. So for the low cost of 1, 2, 3, Shinobu is now a 4, 3, 6, 3. So with an additional 4 health and sanity. So that's pretty nice. And then we'll play 1, 2, 3, the Enchanted Blade. Now we've got a pretty reliable way of hitting these guys over and over. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, okay. And that'll be us. At the end of the enemy phase, he'll be forced to move here, and he'll drop a clue. And then we will do upkeep. 1 and 2. We got to take heart and a flashlight. Flashlight could be handy. In fact, dropping a flashlight and investigating here gets that clue for free, pretty much. But it would bugger the crack the case. Could be 0 shroud location. Anyways, let's do the doom now, and hopefully we can get at least one of those cleared with her. Yeah, preferably this one. But I'm looking a little sparse on... oh, I forgot to commit the Resourceful. Oopsies. Alright. Anyways. 2 Doom. Faulty Structure. Attached to an empty location with the least clues. So that'll be this one. At the end of the round, place a clue on the attached location from the token pool. Test 3 or 3 to repair the barricade. If you succeed, discard the faulty structure. So that's going to be her project for the turn, I believe. And you get a Yosuzumi. A Yukai creature, 1 fight, 2 health, 4 to evade. Yosuzumi's location gets +2 shroud. After investigator discovers one or more clues at any location, move Yosuzume once towards that investigator. So he is just sitting right there. Yuck, that's a nasty one. Okay. Let's think. What are we gonna do? I guess what I can kind of plan on right now is getting the look what I found back for icons to try and pass this. That might be a thing to do. We could just commit the glory to it even. But that's all right. What does this guy do? This guy does horror. Okay. So I think we'll go with Shinobu first. She'll move all the way over here, revealing the other non-reserved train car. There's 5 shroud connected to each other copy of non-reserved train car. While you're investigating this location, treat each non-matching skill icon on card icons committed to this investigation as if it were a wild icon. Okay, so you can just commit anything to this. That's fine. She's going to test this 3 combat, so she's at 6 against 3. Pretty good odds. -3 if you fail. So no, she does not fail. So we get to discard the faulty structure. So he's going to be forced to move either here or here. Let's go like that. I do need to see what these ones are eventually. Let's I can't really kill him in one turn right now with only 1 investigator. And I bet when this flips, we're getting more of them. She could test 5 against 3. And she's got pretty okay odds 5 against 3 if she commits an inspiring presence. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. I think last action... No, you know what? I think we're going to move back here, is what we're going to do for now. That'll be her. Because when this guy moves in, we'll be able to place a clue, and then she'll be able to get both of the clues with, like, the Mariner's Compass or something like that. And I think she's going to spend her turn trying to get rid of this thing. Because that's a lot of shroud to add to this. Yeah. So, let's engage this thing. And then we will fight it with the fire axe. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 8 against 1. Do I commit the resourceful to this? Yes, I think I do. We're at 8 against 1, and I commit the resourceful. -3. Okay, so he's toast. And then I can return. Just look what I found in my hand. This goes over here. And then I think I'm going to test this one. 1 damage and 1 horror isn't like the worst thing in the world to happen. So let's draw a card before we test it to see if we can get away with... Ooh, yuck. Okay. So hopefully she can test that off of her. Maybe she can... Yeah, I think I'm okay. I think that's okay. Because she can do, like, remove that, engage, and then she can do a big fire attack, swing into her, and not be too worried about hitting her too much, because she's got so much health right now. Last action, she's going to... What was the last thing I said I was going to do? I was going to test the dark territory. So let's test 4 against 4, 6 against 4, and you know what? Let's go 8 against 4. We'll commit the glory to that. Maybe I just commit the flashlight. I think I need the glory to draw through my deck a little bit. So we'll commit the flashlight to be 7 against 4. -1. Cool. So we do get rid of the dark territory. But the Tempest Edax Rerum is going to hit us. Okay. So, at the end of the enemy phase, he's going to move over here and place another clue. We're going to do to our upkeeps. Nice to see that I've had worse. And another look what I found. So I don't even have to pass this technically. Okay. 3 doom. When the agenda advances, each investigator takes a direct damage in horror. So fortunately, direct stuff can be assigned wherever you want it to on her because of her linked ability. But over here, we are taking 1 and 1. That gets discarded, and then we advance. For each doom on a player... Oh, sorry. The train speeds past Nagoya Station without stopping. No one seems to be at the platform. For each doom on a player card, flip it to its clue side and place it on the location with the least clues. Oh my god. Then from the window, you see 2 more of the creatures swoop in to strike. Spawn one copy of the set-aside Lesser Tengu at the location with the least clues. Okay, so that goes here. And place a clue. Yuck. And then spawn another copy of the set-aside Lesser Tengu at the location with the least clues. Place 1 clue. So there. Yuck. Spawn each set-aside delegate enemy at the green car. So the Joru Gumo is going to pop into play right here. We're going to need to deal with her. Victory 2, 5-6-2, Prey, highest fight. So at least she'll be hunting directly onto Shinobu, who can deal with this pretty easily, I think. Maybe not easily, but she can definitely deal with it the easiest. The retaliate... Oh, no, there's no retaliate, so that's not too scary. Having the enchantment played out is really nice, because I always get... Right? I always get my 8 against 5. So yeah, I guess it is pretty good. And I only have to use a charge when I hit. So that's really good. That was the agenda flip. Well, put it in there. And now we do the encounter. From within the depths. Attach from within the depths to your location if there's no copy from within the depths attached. If there is, discard it and gain surge. Place 2 clues from the token pool at the attached location. Ooh, oh dear. Okay. At the end of the round, each investigator at attached location takes 2 damage. Discard from within the depths. Ooh, okay, that's some nasty stuff. A Murder of Tengu. Put a Murder of Tengu into play in your threat area. If there are 1 or more Tengu enemies at your location, you cannot damage those enemies or discover clues at your location. Oh. Oh man, that slows us down like crazy. Okay. Wow. That is bad news. That is really bad news. So she can afford to take 2 damage. She can afford to take 2 damage. I'm wondering if my game plan hasn't changed, but I'm not certain. I'm still liking getting rid of this, because discarding one of these would be really bad. But I'm not sure if I'm liking the engage on him on the last turn. She could move in here and let her hunt on, taking a bit of damage, right? It'll kill off Tetsuo to search me a new item. But... Oh, I didn't discard my other fire axe, did I? Okay, no. So I can't, like, kill Tetsuo to get the fire axe back. Oh, no, I could. Ooh. So she can discard this. If Tetsuo dies and gets her fire axe back, that's not a problem. But I'd like her to be able to get at least some of the clues off of here as well. So that's a bit of a bummer. All right. Let's, we gotta try something, right? I think we're gonna do discarding the immiseration off of her and then moving here. And then hopefully she can start just scooping up clues like crazy. I don't think I have much other choice. So let's discard the immiseration and then scoot over. One of these guys will come in, but he'll move in as well. Actually, I guess I could move like that, and then they can come in afterwards. I guess I should have read this agenda, eh? The beasts do not seem to let up. Next stop, Shin Yokohama. The beasts do not seem to let up. You continue to fight against their onslaught. And that is the same active text with 7 doom thresholds. So I get quite a few turns to deal with this before something nastier comes out. So that's going to be her. Over here, I think she's going to choose and discard 2 cards from her hand. But first she's going to draw. Okay, perfect. So then she's going to use an action to discard a Winging It and a... Oh, God. Yeah, the Master of Disguise to get rid of the Murder of Tengu. She's going to investigate here. Oh, right. I can't afford. Look what I found right now. So what do? I guess I investigate there with the Mariner's Compass, getting 5 against... So these would be here, right? 5 against 4, minus 2 Shroud, 5 against 3. Sorry, 5 against 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Investigating 5 against 2, minus 1, so she picks up 2 clues from here. And then she will... what will she do? Scoot out so she doesn't take this damage, I think. Yep. She'll move over with Shinobu. Oh, I didn't reveal this location. Oh my god, what am I doing? After you end your turn at the reserve train car, you must either take 1 clue, place 1 clue from the token pool at this location, or take a damage. Alright, well, she took a damage. We'll put it on one of the sisters. Not a big deal. Oh wow, if she moves there, then she'll be taking a damage as well. But you know what? I think that's okay. 1 damage is better than 2, right? And they'll be together to try and kill her and maybe even one of them. So bam, yeah, fine. And then she'll take a damage at the end of her turn. The enemy phase will happen. Jorogumo will hunt in and engage her and deal 2 damage and 1 horror, finishing off Tetsuo. Tetsuo will die, and he will search, not the discard pile, because there's no guns there. I think she'll search her own deck for another weapon, because we're going to need more damage-dealing effects than this. So we'll search the top 9 cards for a weapon. We'll take a Enchanted Blade, I think, because it's a bit cheaper. Yeah. Okay. And then these guys are all going to do their effect. So one of them is going to... Oh man, this is nasty. Let's say that he moves there. He will move here. And he will move here. Yeah, okay. That's the best I can do, I think. At the end of the round... Oh, we do upkeep. Upkeep. Oh, of course. Like, when else could that have happened, right? God. Oh, I can't even deal with her at all now. I'm going to have to click through this and let her hit me. Oh, yuck. That sucks ass. Oh, that's like the worst possible timing for that. Jesus. Alright. Mythos phase. 1 there. Yataigarasu. Ambush. 2/2. +2 evade while resolving the ambush. After he engages you, discard an asset you control. Then discard Yataigarasu. What the fuck? Okay. Who are we discarding? I guess we're probably discarding Tsukihi if this goes off. But I guess we fight him so that he doesn't peck me for a damage, right? What are the... That's at a -2. So we're at 2, 3. Yeah, so he hits me for 1 damage, which I guess I'll put on Karen. And then he engages me, and I discard an asset I control, then I discard him. And then over here on Hitagi, we get Kitsuntsuki. Put Kitsuntsuki into play in your threat area. Discard an asset you control to discard Kitsuntsuki. At the start of the enemy phase, if Kitsuntsuki is in your threat area, you must either take 2 direct damage or discard each asset you control. Discard Kitsuntsuki. Oh my god. I can't really afford to discard either of those, though. That's really bad. Okay. Oh, and this got discarded as well. Okay, so I guess I go to flip him, and then she'll attack me. So I'll use an I've had worse to block a horror and a damage. And I'll use 2 of my attacks, and then I will attack him once for 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. Is that up to 3 now? Yeah, that's up to 3 now. So 8 against 3, 0. So I'll use the enchanted blade to deal 2 damage. Oh, and he has 2 damage on him right now. Ooh, I should have committed the Inspiring Presence to heal him once. But that's okay. So that's her. Over here, I guess we kind of have to deal with this, don't we? Discard an asset you control to discard that. I think I have to discard the Mariner's Compass, unfortunately. And I'm a little concerned about that, because discarding... Oh, and she takes a damage from ending your turn. Okay. Oh, jeez. That's not good, because I can't really use Mind Over Matter. It's not really quite enough to fight her. So she can't really help this turn. Yeah, that's a bummer. 2 clues. I need to pick up some more clues is what I need to do. Let's investigate once with the Mariner's Compass. 5 against 2. An Elder Sign. You may choose and discard a card from your hand to automatically succeed. Well, we'll just succeed normally. 1, 2 clues. We can only deal damage to the Tengus using these resources. We can't deal the damage to her, unfortunately. Let's draw a card with... let's investigate 4 against 2. Yeah, 4 against 2, I guess. Because these are back down to 1. 4 against 2 is okay. I take 1 damage and 1 horror because there's a Tengu at my location. And we'll draw a card. Okay, and we will discard our Mariner's Compass to remove this Kitsuntsuki so we don't lose our Fire Axe. Yuck. Okay, end of the enemy phase. She attacks for 2 damage and 1 horror, so 1 goes there and 2 goes there. Oh my god. That is brutal. Okay. And then at the end of the enemy phase, these guys are going to be jumping around. So one of them is going to move here and drop a clue. You know what? This one is going to move here and drop a clue. And this one is going to move here and drop a clue. I think that's how that works. Ready up and upkeep. Flashlight is not super useful. Burning the Midnight Oil would have been useful with the Mariner's Compass, but alas. 2 out of 7 Doom. Over here we get a Tsuchinoko Surge. Furthest empty location from the investigators, aloof. At the end of the round... Oh, excuse me. If Tsuchinoko was not defeated, remove it from the game. Do not add it to the victory display. There's no way something like this is real. 1 victory. So right there, I guess? Test 4. For each point you fail by, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. If you have no cards in your hand after this effect resolves, preserving interpretation is gained surge. Wow, that's disgusting. I guess I commit the take heart to this and hope I don't get too negative of a token. Oh Christ, -3. So we fail it entirely. We have to discard 4 cards from our hand. So I guess I draw 2 and take 2 resources first to see what I get. Oh Christ, this guy falls onto me, and I will do a fight against him, I guess. 2 against 2. Let's do 4 against 2, because these are right here right now, I think. No, so he hits me for 1 and 1. And then I have to discard how many cards? 4 cards from my hand. 1. 1, 2, 3. I guess they're worth the same amount right now, hey? 4. Disgusting. God, this is fucking horrendous. I wish I'd have kept that mind over matter because I'd be able to deal with him a lot easier right now. But I guess Shinobu kind of has to go first, so she's going to attack the Joro Gumo. 5, 6, 7, 8 against 5. Well, would have been nice to get that on the next test. And then, same thing against 5. +1. Well, you know, there's a bit of... I will take it, right? So, boom. Yeah, that's not really quite how it works. So he's toast. We defeat him and heal a damage from Koyomi, which draws us a card. And it defeated an enemy, so we draw a card and heal a horror. And I think we're actually also just going to take a swing at this high-ranking cult member so she can kill him with the fire axe and then kind of try and go about our daily lives. Oh yeah, she's in the victory display now. Hitting her for 1 would suck really bad, but yeah, I don't really know. No. We'll just... yeah. Okay, so he takes 1 damage. Yeah, okay. So that is Shinobu. Over here, we'll go attack with the fire axe for 1, 2, 3. So 3 against, 8 against 2. And she's going to commit the Inspiring Presence to this. Okay, so the skill test is successful. Ready an ally asset at your location and heal a damage from it. Nice. Vicious Blow is what I like to see to help me finally kill these guys a bit sooner. And this guy gets defeated. We're going to investigate here with a Burning the Midnight Oil. We're just going to be... Oh, her turn ended, so she took a damage. I guess technically that would have gone on Koyomi. Yeah, we can't keep ending our turn here, unfortunately. She'll have to move back over here. Burning the Midnight Oil, only 2 up, but I think that's okay. Okay, so she got a clue and 2 resources when the test started, technically. She's going to play Madame. Oh, she's not going to play Madame, is she? No, she's going to draw a card. It's the old key ring, and then she's going to move back over here to the non-reserved train car. And end her turn. So, oh, did I forget to surge that? I did, didn't I? That would have happened to her. Yeah, I don't think I can roll that back enough. I'll just draw an encounter card now. Let's see if it fucked me over too bad. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand? Yeah, okay. So it would have been different. It would have been, what, the Flashlight and the Glory, maybe? I didn't play the Glory when I killed the guy, so yeah, sure. We'll call that punishing enough. So these guys are going to be moving around, dropping a bunch of clues. So he's going to move there, drop a clue, and he's going to move there and drop a clue. And he's going to move, like, there and drop a clue, I guess. Right? Because they're all tied at 3 right now. So they both ready. Upkeep, upkeep. Hey, the vicious blow. And he is going to be removed from the game. We have 3 out of 7 Doom. We have some more encounter cards. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand. Or another investigator must choose and discard 2 cards from their hand. Yeah, let's discard a 45 and a... oh, that's painful. The other Enchanted Blade. I'll use this for like the attack boost if I need it, right? To get over big values. And over here we get Sidero. Oh, Siderodromophobia. Test 3 for each willpower. For each point you fail by, you must either place a clue from the token pool at your location or take 1 horror. If Tengu enemies at your location, you can only resolve one of the above options. Okay. Well, there is. So we're going to be testing this, and we're going to be testing it even. +1. Okay. Well, that was a huge relief. So I think now is the point where I start to get pretty worried and sad. Because this is starting to be a lot of clues. And she needs to start killing things to heal herself up. So, let's, over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, play a 45. Let's engage one of them. We'll spend 1, 2, 3, 4 clues as a group. I believe it lets you do it from any location, right? The investigators spend 4 clues as a group to deal 2 damage to any Tengu enemy in play. And then we're going to attack him with the 45 with 2 vicious blows committed to try and just deal with him. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. If you fail. So he's toast. We will heal a damage off Koyomi to draw a card. Nice. That's definitely something we need to see right now. A bit of extra damage and a bit of extra health. And then at the end of the turn, we put a damage back on us because of this effect. And that's her. Over here with Hitagi, she's going to play Madame, play a keyring. I think she's just going to pick up some clues for close to free. These are a -3 for her right now. And she's a 4 against 2. Let's play... oh, she can't play the Contemplation. Yeah, so we get a buck with Madame to play the Contemplation for 2 cards. Not bad. And she'll just investigate 4 against 2. Okay, it's -3. We're really going to waste that on that? I don't think so. It is what it is. So that's both of our turns. These guys are going to move. He's going to move to this location. He's going to move to this location. We're going to do upkeeps. I've had worse. And Ugi? Ushino? A little late, but better than never. 4 out of 7 Doom. Inexorable Fate. Put it into play in any investigator's threat area if there's no copy of Inexorable Fate in their threat area. When you would take 1 or more damage or horror, double that damage and or horror. Discard Inexorable Fate. Okay. Yuck. Keep that on herself. Whoa. Put another world into play. Disengage from each enemy engaged with you. Move to it. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand, or discard cell phone if it's in your play area. Discard 1 clue. Oh, excuse me. Discard 1 clue from another world. If there are no clues on another world, or when the investigation phase ends, move each investigator at another world to any revealed location. Discard another world. Okay, well, she gets shunted out to there. That's not good. Maybe it's not the worst, but it's not great. I think she's going to be discarding cards from her hand to pull that off. So let's draw a card. No, let's draw a card with this action first. Okay. And then we will choose and discard 2 cards from our hand, choosing the Contemplation and, unfortunately, Yugi. And we'll spend a resource to draw 2 cards when we discard it. 2. Discard a clue from another world. If there are no clues on another world, we move each investigator at another world to any revealed location. Where does she want to go to get clues? She'll try this one out, I guess. No, she needs to get them off one of the... Oof. Yeah, she'll just come back to this one, I think. Actually, wait. Maybe she'll move here. Use a branch for $1. Discard the imposter oddity to deal 2 damage for free to this asshole. And then investigate 4 against 0. Just to pick up one of these clues. We just got to get it, right? Yeah, so we get one of the clues. And then at the end of the turn, she takes a damage. Okay, so over here, we're going to engage the Tengu. We're going to shoot him, which is 5, 6, 7 against 3. -2 as a hit. And 7 against 3. Nice! Perfect! So that kills him. We get to trigger this to heal Koyomi and draw a card. And then we can also heal ourselves 1. Because we get to trigger that twice. And then he goes to the discard pile. Nope, he goes to the victory display. And at the end of the turn, we will be taking 1 damage. When we would take one or more, when you would take 1 or more damage in a horror, double that damage in a horror and discard this. And when you're dealt damage in a horror, cancel 2 and gain 2 resources. So that all works out pretty good, and I can play this beat cop next turn if I need to. Cool. So at the end of the enemy phase, he's probably going to move right back onto us. Actually, let's think. He can only move there, there, or there. Yeah, I guess he moves onto us, doesn't he? I think I'm going to use her to get some clues next turn off this location, because this is getting really dicey. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. He's going to put a clue down, and we'll go upkeep, upkeep. Hollowed Mirror's a little too late, I think. She could really use some money to get this Mariner's Compass in play to pick up some clues quickly. 5 out of 7 Doom. We get a Murder of Tengu. Cannot damage those enemies or discover clues at your location. Of course. The one turn I finally said I'm going to start doing something about that. To an empty location with the least clues. So one of these is going to be getting a clue every turn. So she needs to go break that too. So I think she's just going to go do that. There's not really a whole lot to be done about it. Yeah. She definitely needs to play the beat cop. I think I need to know what this location does. If it's something like this, where I'm taking a damage or a horror or something, and I need to test a skill, that's really bad. I need more ammo. Oh god. I need to get rid of this at some point too. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're getting real close to just losing instantly. Can we kill him this turn? Is that even possible? Is that something I could do? Not really, eh? She could attack him for 6. Once. Right? Or 4, like 3 times because of the live and learn. Yeah. What do I do? I think maybe she might draw and then engage a attack with the fire axe and use Madame to be 6 against 3, and then maybe she can finish him off? Oh, not if she has the Murder of Tengu in her hand. Okay, so she's going to draw. Fine. She's going to choose and discard 2 cards from her hand to parlay and discard a Murder of Tengu. So she's going to discard an old keyring and Madame. She's going to engage the Lesser Tengu, and she's going to swing at him once for 1, 2, so 6 against 3. -3, okay, so 2 damage. Whew, okay, Shinobu, oh, right at the end of the turn she takes the damage. Oh dear, that's nasty. Okay, that's her. Because I don't want to place more clues. It'd be really bad. Shinobu is going to shoot once with the automatic. 5, 6, 7 against 3. Oh, will she kill her if she does that? Engage, shoot. No, it's shoot, shoot, play the beat cop and kill him, right? Yeah. Okay, I think that's kind of my only... Yeah, okay, so shoot. 5, 6, 7 against 3. So that is a hit. Swing with the enchant... Oh, whoops. Let me just remedy that really quick. Doesn't have any charges, though. Accidentally deleted it with the token there. She'll swing with the enchanted blade, so 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. -4 or 3, I guess. Then she'll 1, 2, 3, 4 to play a beat cop. Use the beat cop to deal. That did a damage. Use the beat cop to deal a damage to himself and a damage to him, defeating him. So she heals the damage off the beat cop, and he goes into the victory display. Whew, and then she takes a damage at the end of the turn. At the end of the round, place a clue from the on the attached location. So we got to work our way over there real quick. 6 out of 7. One of these dickheads spawns right here. Seen them before. No stranger to their fuckery. Portentous signs. Put portentous signs into play in your threat area. After an effect causes you to discard 1 or more cards from your hand, take 1 horror. Take 1 damage to discard portentous signs. Yuck. How are we going to get out of this one? This is real nasty. That is really bad for her. Okay, so she needs to get off this location desperately. And she's going to. Because she's going to invest, she's going to figure out what's going on out this way, I think. She's going to move over here into the green car. Forced, after you end your turn at the green car, you must either place 1 clue from the token at this location or draw the top card of the encounter deck. After you enter the green car, place a clue on it to move to a connecting location. So she's not going to do that. That's terrible. She's going to investigate with the old keyring to take a clue off that thing. It's 4 against 2. -3. Okay. She's going to move over again to the reserve train car here. See what the deal with this one is. After you successfully investigate this location, if you did not succeed by 2 or more, draw a top card of the encounter deck. Oh. But it's 1 shroud location, so that's not too bad. And then she's going to draw a card. It's a resourceful. Ooh, a resourceful has a lot of options right now. That's nice to see. Could just pick up an imposter oddity to get a free 2 damage against this boss that's going to be coming out in a bit. So that'll be her. Shinobu is going to move twice. And she's going to test this faulty structure. Testing 5, 6. against 3. Yeah. Yeah, so that goes. Okay, so that's them. This guy's got Hunter. He's gonna... He's equidistant. 1, 2, 3. No, 1. Okay. Then upkeep and upkeep. Ooh, limitless stationary. Oh, but I can't use that because this'll... Oh, I can take a horror, actually. So she could use that to get a clue over here. That's not so bad. Okay, so 7 Doom. This advances. The train speeds past Shin Yokohama Station without stopping. You're almost there, but you're unsure as to how long you can hold out. For each Doom on a player card, flip it to its clue side and place it on the location with the least clues. Before you can react, add another one of the flying creature. Another one of the flying creatures scrapes its talons against the side of the train car. This one happens to be much bigger than the others. Spawn the set-aside Greater Tengu at the location with the least clues. Place 2 clues at that location. Oh dear. So that's right here. And we need to start picking up a lot of clues really quick, or we're about to lose. Yikes. Final stop, Shinagawa. Despite the strangeness and trepidation of what was going on, you feel a sense of resolve to work against the winged beasts. 5 Doom. Okay, so encounter cards. Siderodromophobia. There we go. Test 3. For each point you fail by, you must either place a clue on your location or take 1 horror. So, she'll be taking a bunch of horror if she does this, I believe. Should we commit the perseverance to this to be 5 against 3? I think so, because it's for each point you fail by. Okay. And over here we get the Kitsunsuki. Discard an asset you control to discard the Kitsunsuki. Okay. So that's fine, I think. So what do? I guess what we do is we get 1 clue from here, but he'll move in if I do that. Let's think. How do I pull this off? I have like no bonus damage, so I guess I kind of need to play my Kokoro Watari, don't I? She can't hand her $1 because she doesn't have a crack the case. Let's see. I can't afford to just not deal with him. I guess I can let him do his enemy phase movement in here and put a bunch of clues on and see if I can dump on him on 1 turn, but I don't think I can do that much damage. Oh, I might be able to. If I hit with 3 attacks with this, and use that to take 2 damage and exhaust it to trigger it again, and I hit with the Fire Axe, I think he's toast. So I need to get 1 clue from here and kill this guy this turn, I think. And maybe get rid of these if I can. So let's try to do something like that. Yeah, let's try to do something like that. So she's going to take a resource. No, let's get this guy to move over first, because she can take a resource. Is he aloof? Oh, he is aloof. Take a resource, play it. Yeah. Okay. 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 Take a resource, play it. What? And then we draw a card. Ooh, live and learn. That's nice to see. That'll help us against like a crappy what am I trying to say? Crappy autofail or something like that. Because we are technically 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4, so like we're pretty good. Like the fail is what we're failing on. So that's not so bad. But over here we're going to. How are we going to pull this off? I think I need to get rid of this, and I don't really want to take a damage to do it. But we're going to... I guess I could investigate 3... After you successfully investigate, if you do not succeed by 2 or more, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Yeah, that's really nasty. She could just draw the top card for 2 of them as her last action, but that sounds really risky too. So let's discard this limitless stationary, and we'll pay $1 to gather a clue at the location. After an effect causes you to discard 1 or more cards from your hand, take a horror. So we'll put a horror on her. And when we got the clue, he moves over. Now a shroud is a 3 shroud location. Yeah. So let's investigate. Oh, I guess I could have done this. Yeah, I'm doing this in a really silly order, aren't I? Let me think about how I'm doing this. Yeah, let me rewind really quickly and think about how I want to do this better, because that wasn't very. That wasn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't what I. That's not what I think I want to do. I think what I want to do is old keyring to test 4 against 0, and I want to commit the resourceful to it to be 5 against 0. Yeah. Do I have another icon I could commit? Yeah, let's commit the Mariner's Compass to be 6 against 0 as an investigate. -3, so that's 3 against 0, so we do lose the keyring, but we get a resourceful card back, we get the clue, and he moves on to us. And what are we going to get? Technically, this isn't in the discard yet to get back with resourceful. So I said I wanted to get an imposter oddity back to deal 2 free damage to this guy. Ooh, but he is massive, so he'd deal an attack of opportunity against me. Ooh, shoot. Okay. But that's alright. I think that's alright. And that got 1 of the clues. So I haven't done this yet. I think I have to discard Madame. Oh dear. That is really dicey. So we didn't actually that horror was from this effect. Whoopsies. No, okay. I just discarded that other I just deleted that other card, being careless once again. This one of these. Okay. This is what I get for trying to play a little fast. Oh, you know what though? Gathering another clue gives us enough to ping him for 2, and that gives us a little more wiggle room. Ew, okay. Okay. So then I do discard this, taking a horror and spending 1 for another clue. And then I think I discard Madame. Can I spend a resource on anything? Not really, eh? Yeah, I discard Madame so I don't have to lose my Fire Axe. And then I try not to cry really hard, right? I think that's the meme. Draw a card. Okay, well, not tremendously helpful. So that is that. The investigator, that's the investigator phase. The enemy phase, he doesn't move. He doesn't do anything. At the end of the enemy phase, he's going to move here and drop 2 clues. And then we're going to get a doom up there after we've done upkeep, ataxia. That's really bad. That's really bad. Because I think that kills off someone over on that side of the board. But we'll have to see. So 1 doom, and then these. Oh. That is really bad. steps. 2 clues at this location. So I gotta get a clue off here somehow. But I can't imposter syndrome him. Imposter already to evade him because he's massive and he would attack of opportunity me. In fact, she is pretty much completely locked down. So, what can I do? She has to get a clue off this location and another location, and she basically just can't. Because if she does anything, he will attack her. So this, this fucked me bad. Because if she didn't get shunted out to here, then I'd be able to kill him this turn, I think, if I got some lucky draws. Yeah. So she's gonna discard this to take 1 damage and 1 damage. She's gonna discard 2 cards from her hand, to discard this clue and move back here. So she attacks him for 5, 6, 7, 8 against 8. -4, that's 2 damage. Again, 8 against 8. -3, that's 2 damage. And then she takes 2 damage with the Kaimonogatari to get an additional action, which she will use to fight again for 2 damage. And she exhausts the beat cop for 1 damage, killing the beat cop off. Yeah, and then she's locked down and she can't really do anything. So what can she try to do? She could try to commit a ton of cards in her hand. So she'll make 1 attack, which is 6 against how much? 4? We'll go 7 against 4, I guess. We'll go 7 against 4. No, we'll go 8 against 4. Okay, that's for 2. And then we'll attack him 1 more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 4. Oh, I should have saved an icon. Yep. Oh, thank God. Yeah, I did the math on that wrong, but that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 damage on the Greater Tengu, and he is defeated. But now I need to pick up this clue, which I will simply she's going to get defeated because of this effect. And so is she. No, she doesn't get defeated because those guys are both going to flip. But she's going to get defeated if she doesn't pick up a clue here. And she doesn't have enough money to play the limitless stationary. So she's going to draw the encounter card to discover 2 clues. Ah, nope. So she'll be getting a trauma, but at least Oh, I forgot about... Oh, actually, no, wait. Hold on. Wait. Rather than that last axe swing, I could spend 4 clues. Yeah, here. Let's not just let ourselves kill ourselves. Instead of that other axe swing, we'll spend 4 clues to defeat him. And then she'll have a spare action to scoot out. Right? Yeah. I'm happy with that. That's okay. We'll scoot you over here. I did commit I did commit a couple cards to that, right? But whatever. I committed them. I'm being a little retroactive, but I did have that planned, and I just totally forgot about the effect. It's one of those things where, like, when it's on the table in front of you when you're playing the game, like physically, it's so easy to remember effects like this. But when I'm playing the TTS, I'm like focused in. I'm looking at the cards like this. I get so tunnel vision on it that I forget about these effects really often. So she takes 2 damage, which is going to flip Koyomi and kill Karen. And then he does nothing. And I guess they both already would have done upkeep if that were the case. Okay. 2 out of 5 doom. When you take any damage, double it. Yuck. That's really scary. The Tempest Edicts, which I think we need to get rid of, don't we? Yep, we need to get rid of that. So she has to flip Koyomi, otherwise she will die, and he has 2 damage on him. And then she's going to draw a card because she needs to figure something else out. Ooh, an Inspiring Presence. Maybe she could kill this guy next turn and heal him up a bit. That seems fine. Hitagi really needs to not die. So how do we make it so that you don't die? Let's drawing is a surefire way to die, isn't it? None of these locations are particularly safe, are they? Oh dear. I think she's going to have to do some drawing. So she'll draw the card, shuffle the deck for a draw. And then she'll draw again. She'll investigate here with a Take Heart committed to it. So she's 4 against 5. 0, so she fails and draws 2 cards and gains 2 resources. I was really hoping to draw into an ally amongst all that. And then last action, she'll just ugh, this is so painful. Last action, I guess she'll just play the keyring. Yeah, okay. Ready. Upkeep. This guy's just going to stay right here because he's a hunter. 3 out of 5 doom. Oh, I do have to test this off, though. Otherwise, they'll be taking some direct. So I'll have to keep that in mind. You get the Perturbing Interpretations. Test 4. For each point you fail by, choose and discard a card from your hand. So she's just going to have to test that because I think she doesn't really have any other option. -3. If you have no cards in your hand after this effect resolves, it gains Surge. Oh, Christ. Dark Territory. When the agenda advances, place a clue. But I think that's not a big deal, because it's just when the investigator phase ends if one of them has 6 that we lose. Yeah, the Yeta Garasu. Okay, so we'll be doing a fight against him, I guess. Yeah, we'll be doing a fight against him. Okay, so he hits us for a damage, and we discard an asset we control. So I guess it'll be the old keyring, and then he gets discarded. Oh, Christ. Hitagi! Please don't die. Over here on Shinobu, I think she's going to engage this dickhead and fight him with the Kaimonogatari. So 5-6 against 1. -1 kills him. Heal Koyomi for 1. And draw a card. I guess she's just going to go catch up with Hitagi just in case more enemies are going to pop out. Hitagi. What are the chances that she like just doesn't die before this is over? If I just like stop. Let's test 4 against what is it? 4 against 3 up here. We're just going to try that. Yeah, see? We'll choose not to discard a card. I think that this was empty on the last guy that went up. And so that should have shuffled, is what I think. I think that's technically how that works. I was kind of hoping to commit the perception after the fact. So we'll test the other one anyways, just to get rid of it, I guess, and we'll be 4 against 4. Okay, we will pass that as well. That's kind of fucking funny. And then we'll investigate here, 4 against 5. -3. So I'll use a live and learn to be 6, 7, 8 against 5. Fail. Alright, and then she'll draw a card. There we go. So let's see if we can play that. I should have just drawn cards, I guess. Okay, so there's that. 4 out of 5 Doom. Choose to discard 2 cards from your hand. Yep, well, she can't afford to make her do it. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand. And she takes 2 horror when she does that. Because of these pretentious signs. So she'll 2, 3, 4 play Ougi. Take a damage to discard one of them. Draw a card. Draw a card. And then over here, she will draw, and remove the other pretentious signs from her, taking a damage on Koyomi. Okay, upkeep. 1 horror, and upkeep. 5 out of 5 Doom. We advance the act. Suddenly, the giant red monster changes its flight and moves away from the train. Then the train slows down to a halt. You have reached your destination. Flip 1, Act 1A over. As the train slows to a complete stop, an intense humming noise emanates from all around the train, and you're forced to cover your ears. Your vision goes black, and you lose consciousness. We said it was R2. Resolution 2. When you come to, you're at your destination. All the passengers have returned, and the landscape outside isn't submerged in a blood-red sunset. Instead, the sun is high in the sky. As you step out of the train, a few station attendants are crowding around the exterior of the train. As you glance over, you see large claw marks on the side of the Shinkansen, and the attendants are puzzled as to how that got there. You know what caused it, but you don't have time nor the capacity to explain. In your campaign log, record that X Tengu got away. X is the number of Tengu enemies that are not in the victory display, so we didn't get 0 Tengu got away. That's nice. Oh, I think I forgot to record my log entries from the previous scenario, so I'll go back and do that between. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. Each investigator earns 1 additional experience, so they've gained some insight on that other world. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another 9 XP scenario. And then, whoops, of course, the last moment of this video is going to do something like that. If scenario 2B in Ari Monogatari was chosen first in interlude 1, proceed to scenario 2A, Toshi Monogatari. So, that was a pretty cool scenario. This was, keeping on top of the clues was pretty hard. And really, I was pretty lucky to have finished off that boss before he started dumping two clues per turn onto some of these tougher locations that would have been really tricky to clear. But all in all, I think it was really cool. Really enjoyed that. So, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in Toshi Monogatari.